What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sideliners. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Luke.
And today we're going to be talking some football. So we're going to be talking about Tua and his concussions, which are very alarming, but we're going to also talk a little debating about the new kickoff rules. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so this is bad because football is known for their concussions. They're known for the amount of traumas that happen after concussion, after their seasons that just obviously ruin like how they're playing the next seasons, and then even like kicking them out of football. So what are your thoughts?
So, I mean, 4 is really alarming. That was another, and he's had 4 bad ones, too.
4 bad ones. The first one was in college at Alabama, and then now he has the 3 in the NFL. That's bad.
It's very bad.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second one against the Bills. Obviously.
Yes.
I guess the Bills' defense are doing something, but not in a good way, because they're absolutely ruining a great quarterback, I must say. Tua's kind of up there, I feel like, in my list.
Very underrated, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think Tua would have performed better if he didn't have these concussions so far?
I think so. I mean, before the concussion, obviously, it took him out of the game. He could not figure out that Bills defense. I don't know what it was.
I think it's just the big thing of it's the Bills. They're a great team overall, defensive side, offensive side. Even though they lost their wide receiver in Diggs, they got Coleman, which is a big. So that whole entire game, I think, offensively, defensively, it was basically like the Bills are doing their thing. But I mean, the main thing is just Tua's concussions.
Yeah, I think the keys to the Dolphins' success this year would be Tua.
Mm-hmm.
The offense obviously goes through the quarterback, and not having him is a huge deal.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is something on the offensive line is doing?
I mean, that was a scramble. He dove
Yeah.
into DeMar Hamlin. So
that's true.
That one wasn't the offensive line.
Yeah.
Coaching, maybe.
Maybe coaching, but I feel like personally, like you just said, he's going headfirst into these big ass guys. You're what, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", right? Something like that. Going into some big, beefy linemen or like even linebackers, and you're just going headfirst. That's you're basically asking for a concussion at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So overall, do you think he was going to come back from this one?
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. That's the big thing. I feel like when you get to like that 4 range, especially as a quarterback, and especially being a healthy quarterback in the NFL, when you get to having 4 concussions, 1 in college and 3, like, what do you have, 2 last season?
Yep.
2 last season against the Bengals and the Bills.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're coming back, don't get me wrong. For a quarterback who had that much concussions, playing games and surviving how he is, I'll give it to him. But this last one, I feel, might be his kind of season downgo, I'm not going to say.
I mean, if he comes back, he might want to look into wearing the Guardian cap in the game. I don't know how much that actually helps, but it's going to soften that blow even more.
Yeah. That's a big thing, because I remember when the Vices helmet came out, a lot of quarterbacks are moving from the Speed Flex to that, and that's in itself a good helmet.
Yeah, Rydell has one too like that.
I think Rydell, yeah. But overall, I think the helmets are improving, but the Guardian cap I think might be something that will be introduced more in the game.
I mean, this year they made the change to allow the Guardian cap in the game. For a guy like Tua, that might help some.
Yeah. All right. So for our next segment, we are going to talk a little bit about these kickoffs. This is something that was brought in from the XFL, from the minor leagues of football, and I personally, with my stand, I like it. I think it's definitely giving football that new kind of look. I feel like it's like people are going to come back. Obviously, it's football. You're going to keep on watching it, but this new introduction, a new kickoff, some people are liking it, some people are not. What are your thoughts?
So I don't mind it. I don't think they're achieving what they wanted. When it works and they get those returns, that's really fun to watch, but it's the same amount of touchbacks. The average drive start went from the 26 to the 28, so only 2 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think it's done much so far.
Yeah. I think that I like it because it's it gives that sense of you're kicking it off. The receiver has kind of more openings. I personally feel because you're getting these bigger guys. You're kind of you're 10-day contract kids that are just trying to just go out there, ball, have fun, kind of knock someone's head off because it's football. So you're going to have those kids going down, and you got some speedy kid that's a wide receiver just bolting it down the field that I personally feel, as someone who played football, played in that position, I think it's a lot more rewarding. I feel like you have a higher chance of getting that touchdown.
It is,
Yeah.
when it works.
Yes, when it works. With that being said, do you think they should bring the kicker back?
I think they should move him back even more.
With that, because honestly, all these kickers are coming with these crazy big legs. I feel every kicker can easily just kick it out of the field if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think they might, coaches might start strategizing, how they're kicking off, when they're kicking off, really focusing on kickers, learning how to kick to a certain spot, I feel like, and not just kicking out to the touchdown to make it a touchback.
Yeah, or make the penalty even more for a touchback is another option too. Instead of the 30, bring it out to the 40. It'll really make them rethink it then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's actually good. I didn't even think about it. Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's a crazy thing because I like putting the example of a wide receiver, like I was saying, and then just having a crazy big lineman that's just trying to get his minutes on special teams. You're having this say a big dude just gets loose from that. He's cracking one of those wide receivers, and that's I think the big thing with football that people are so crazed about. It's the same thing with hockey.
Yeah.
You got people hitting at the contact constantly, and I feel that's a big help in that kind of aspect of people liking the sport.
I have noticed it creates more of a one-on-one with the returner and the kicker, and that's kind of fun to watch too. The kicker, obviously not paid to make tackles; he's paid to kick.
Pat McAfee, though, if you put Pat McAfee's
he would be the man.
He would be the man. I think he would love this situation. Be able to just go right down the field and crack a wide receiver or run a kick returner. My bad. Yeah. So those are our two segments, and I would like to introduce our brand new segment to Sideliners called "What the Puck." Yep, what the puck? Nope. Shut the puck up. So Shut the Puck Up is our new hockey segment, and I'm going to be handing it over to Luke and our new person, Michael. So
I'll see him over there.
See you over there.
All right, hello and welcome to Shut the Puck Up. Come on in, take a seat. We saved this one just for you. Just kidding, we saved it for my co-host Luke. Come on in, Luke.
Thank you.
How are we doing?
Not bad, not bad.
This is Luke. We stole him from Sideliners and we are not giving him back. So, this episode, really not much to talk about. Preseason hasn't even started, so we're just going to talk about the players to look out for within our main season. Mainly Rangers because reasons unbeknownst to me. I think first off, the best player to look at, or the main player to look at with the Rangers is going to be Lafreniere. I think he didn't live up to his expectations originally, but I think we gave him the time to grow and develop, and I think that's what he's doing. And I think playoff time, he showed up and he showed out, and he was a very strong player. And I think that he is only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the mock lines, the lines they're running for training camp. Lafreniere was the right wing on the first line with Zibanejad and Kreider. So as he's developing, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, to get paired with two great players like that. I mean, Zibanejad and Kreider are amazing players for the team. I mean, Zibanejad maybe didn't show out that much in the playoffs. Kreider definitely did, and Lafreniere did as well. Panarin. I mean, Panarin was obviously, he led everything for the Rangers. Was it most goals, most points, most, I think he had every
pretty much, yeah,
high stat. So he is someone that honestly this team is kind of built around right now, and I don't know if there is much room for him to get better. I think he already is great. What do you
he's
think?
probably the best player on the team. He's probably just going to continue to be the best player on the team as we can go on. I mean, next to Shesterkin, obviously.
I was going to say, if you want to talk best player on the team, it's obviously going to be Igor Shesterkin. Which obviously he had a rough month or so, I think, where he just couldn't win. But the good thing with us is we have Quick as our backup goalie, who was just able to really do a great job of picking up the slack when Igor needed that break. And Igor, he's just an amazing player. He's draining our funds, but it's worth it.
Definitely.
I think he's somebody. I think goaltending is the most important thing when you get into especially playoff time, because it doesn't matter who can score. It matters that the people on the other team can't score. And Igor was very good at shutting out or closing that door. And I think goaltending is the most important thing for playoffs, so that's what's really going to be important, is to have that good goaltender. And a lot of teams don't have that great of goaltenders. You know, you look at like the Devils, every 2 years they're asking to replace their goalie, and every year they're getting stuck with some bad goalie. And we're lucky enough to have Igor, we're lucky enough to have Lundqvist, and you know, it's them, and now it's time for the other players to pull their weight, because we can't have Igor be like Lundqvist and be another goaltender who is one of the greatest of all time without a cup, because the Rangers just don't want to show out.
Yeah, and I think you have to play defense in the playoffs.
The
defense didn't show up during the playoffs. When you get to the playoffs,
especially with that, yes. With the playoffs, it would be they would be up 1-0. It would be one goal, and then they would just count on Igor to shut out for the rest of the game. They would let all these shots go in, and it was terrible. It was terrible for Igor. And then when he lets it up, well, what do you expect? There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, teams are in the playoffs because they can score.
Yeah. Another thing to look at, kind of connected to the playoffs, is Alex Ovechkin. He's a player to look out for. Not really that he's going to get better. I don't think he's going to, but he is very close to breaking the most goals scored record, Wayne Gretzky's record.
Yep.
He's, 40-something away?
Yeah, around there.
Around there. I know that, I think last season he had 30 goals or something. So if he continues with that, then he'll only be 10 away for another season. But he is a very old player, so the question is, how much longer is he going to continue? How much longer is he going to run? How much longer can he go?
I think to tie the record or pass the record, he needs 2 20 or more goal seasons. I don't know if he has that in him right now.
I don't know. I mean, you look at the playoffs, he didn't get a single playoff point. Nothing. Not even an assist, I don't believe.
That's because Washington wasn't really a playoff caliber team. They were the last team in.
Yeah, they really weren't, but it's just, you would expect someone like him, he's the biggest player on that team, at least I feel like, to get goals. But I guess, playoff times they do kind of guard those players more heavily, because we had our big players obviously didn't show out as much, Panarin and Zibanejad. But it's hard when the other team is kind of told this is going to be the goal scorer that's really going to, that you have to stop. And you see them get double teamed and stuff.
Yeah.
So that, Connor McDavid.
Obviously.
Obviously, he is.
When he gets done, he'll be the best player of all time.
Probably, yeah. He is setting up to be that. I think he and who's the other player on the Oilers?
Draisaitl?
Draisaitl, yes. Those two alone were keeping the Oilers alive in the playoffs and kept it going as far as it did. And Skinner, obviously a goaltender,
Yeah.
but
I think if you're talking about the Oilers and players to look out for, I think Evan Bouchard, the defenseman.
Bouchard?
I think the Adam Fox, the Kale McCarr, the Quinn Hughes, he'll be the next one up in that offensive defenseman kind of style. And be exciting to watch him develop as the year goes on.
Yeah, and the Hughes brothers as well. We'll have to talk about that at a later segment, because it's time for us to shut the puck up and get back to Sideliners. We'll bring back to Brandon. We'll let Luke go free, because why not? And we will see you next time.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Michael. That was an awesome segment, and I'm so happy that you are here with Sideliners, and I think we're going to do awesome. So I'm Brandon.
I'm Luke.
And this is Sideliners.